Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Weekly Bugle. Hope everyone is doing fantastically well. Let me put a light on so you can see my beautiful face. There we go, I'd forgotten.
Oh God, turn it back off.
Quinn, how the hell are you doing, sir?
I'm doing terribly. You didn't do your little song.
Well, I can't. Do you know what? I just made it up on the spot, and it was so amazing, and then I forgot about it. It was something
You
like
literally just repeated the words
Weekly
Weekly Bugle.
Bugle song. It's the Weekly Bugle, Weekly Bugle, Weekly Bugle song. Yeah, there we go. It's the Weekly Bugle, guys. Not much in the way of. I mean, if we don't get a character, Quinn, we get a little bit sad, don't we? Basically. In a week, but outside of things that AMG have released, how has your Marvel week been, Quinn?
It's been pretty good. I'm in receipt of like the first wave of Hydra stuff, so I've like set up Mazola.
Nice.
He's in the stages of base coating. I've like painted his face and stuff. Got all my masking done on that and stuff. Yeah, it's good.
Nice. And how excited were you when you saw the video that Ryan Reynolds released this week, confirming that
it was pretty good.
Hugh Jackman is going to be back as Wolverine for at least one more time. I think he could do it again. Did you see the follow-up video where they started to tell the story of what was going to happen, but they played music over it so you couldn't hear what they were saying? You could just lip read and see them like doing actions and things.
I didn't see that. No,
it was
that seems like a very like fuck you kind of thing.
The guy is just. I mean, he's just a social media genius, isn't he? Ryan Reynolds, like he's just. I don't know. Like he just seems to. The man can do no wrong, which is, you know, for a man who put a green CGI suit on in possibly one of the worst, maybe not the worst, but definitely one of the worst comic book movies ever. I think he's definitely redeemed himself, hasn't he?
I mean, you know, like the Phoenix, he has risen from the ashes of Green Lantern.
He hath risen from the ashes. So let's say some hellos. Charcoal, hello, buddy. I'm excited to hear your opinions on the new Tacs. Yes, they are flavourful's one word. Snow Loss, hey. In my opinion, there's a few small changes away from being things I'm happy with, but overall I'm a bit disappointed with them. We will definitely get onto that. Justin McClure, I didn't want Hydra to be my main, but they're forcing my hand. Really? Okay, interesting. Eric, Zola seems really fun to paint. I haven't even taken him out of the box yet. But yeah, Ryan Reynolds' most unforgivable movie is Van Wilder. It was a pretty shitty movie, to say the least. So yeah, guys, let's jump in. We realised when we were doing this that we'd actually forgot to cover off part of the new Red Skulls sort of stack, if you like. So what we thought is we would start by giving ourselves a really quick recap on Red Skull. We'll then go into his Hydra Troopers, which is the part that we have missed, and then we'll take a look at the new Tic Tacs that we've got. Banana MCPL, first time I'm able to catch the stream live. Normally I'm at work, but no work today, so I'm able to watch. Well, welcome, Banana. Hope you are well. Glyn. Glyn's just part of the furniture now. It's like he doesn't even need to talk, Quinn. I just assume that you are here, Glyn. So there we go. Paint Rich and Quinn chat. Christian Ward, I'm a newbie to painting models. What painting kit would you recommend? Well, I started out, Quinn, when I first got back into hobby painting. I went and looked at what paints I could get, not as cheaply as possible because there's cheaper paints out there, but I went with an Army Painter mega set because it had in so much like.
And your inner child went, "Oh, I like mega things."
Yeah, well, it had a lot in. However, I have so many of them paints left that are either untouched or barely touched, and I've very quickly transitioned into, I'm going to say predominantly Vallejo, Quinn, is my sort of paint of choice. I have just ordered, I've always used inks I use inks out of my airbrush for zenithal highlighting, and then I use inks for black lining as well. However, I have just ordered, I think about 15 inks, Quinn, to try them out. I have an upcoming video where I'm trying to paint my backlog, which I showed Quinn the table earlier. I think is going to be over 1,000 miniatures in total.
Like, we've already figured out what your opening skit for that video is going to be.
Yes, yeah, and it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So what would I recommend? I would personally stay away from Army Painter. That's just my personal opinion. I just found that the coverage on them, and they took so much shaking. I was having to buy the little balls in them, Quinn, to actually get the medium to mix back in with everything else. I think Vallejo is very, very good.
It's probably your best generalist brand, I'd say.
You can pick a setup for 30 quid, Quinn, can't you?
Yeah,
with all the basic primary colours in.
I'd say is like, don't necessarily feel that you have to be beholden to one brand, right? Like
100%.
I don't actually know how much like savings paint sets offer. Like in regard to just like buying bottles. I mean, it's probably like a decent chunk, and if it is like decent enough to the point where you feel like it's reasonable value, go for it. But like, make sure that you've got a good white. I would recommend Pro Acryl Titanium White.
I use that. I also use Quinn. Pro Acryl is really good. I'd also recommend the AK range as well.
Oh, what, you mean this one?
Yeah, it's also very, very good. Or
those are your two best whites.
If you are going to get Vallejo, also the Vallejo white is very good as well.
I mean, like, make sure you've got a decent white, a decent black, and then like get your primary colours, maybe some secondaries, and then don't be afraid to mix paints.
100%, yeah, absolutely.
Like, especially for MCP, where your models basically never have any sort of repetition between models. You won't need that consistency of colour, whereas like you can just mix to get whatever you need.
I'm gonna put a link in the chat, Christian, for this is the Vallejo set that I started out with, and is a really, really good sort of base set. So that's the link. It is Amazon. It is a affiliate link. It's the ones I use. I don't use affiliate links for anything that I don't use. Feel free to not use the affiliate link. Just go find it and everything else. But this is the one. This is the one that I use. You can see there, last ordered it, 12th of April. This is the Vallejo set that I use. It's got a good black. It's got a good white. It's got kind of I'd say like 5 or 6 basic colours, Quinn. So like green, blue, yellow, red, and brown. I would say like your basics, and then from there you can mix and match yourself. And it's also got a couple of what I think are pretty good metallics in there as well. So it's got a gold and it's got a silver. The silver's a little bright. I use it more for edge highlighting.
I mean,
other
you
metallics,
can also just like mix in a bit of black with it, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Any of it, but there's some really nice colours, really, really nice colours. And then I started here now, and this cost me 28 quid. I think I paid about 100 quid, Quinn, for that for those mega paint sets. And honestly, it just wasn't worth it. And the nice thing about these over Citadel are dropper bottles. Yeah. Dropper bottles. If you're using contrast, the Citadel ones are good because you actually can use them straight from the pot. But dropper bottles, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, there are plenty of like videos out there that will tell you what you need and stuff like that. Get some like cheap synthetic brushes. Maybe get a nice one if you want to, just to get used to it using detail work and stuff. Maybe a wet palette if you feel like it. No.
I'd recommend a wet. I would get a wet palette with this. That and all the shades from GW. Yeah, I personally now, Ian, I've stopped using any washes or shades. I'm tending to. Oh, there we go. It was 130 quid, Quinn. Was the Mega Army paint set that I bought.
So the Viejo one is 30 quid, yeah?
Yeah.
So use that 100 quid that you've saved to get a wet palette, like 50 other paints,
Yeah.
and buy something else. I don't know, buy yourself like a box of chocolates or something as well with what you've saved.
Yeah, do it.
Jesus.
Do it. But yeah, and it depends, if you... There's two routes, isn't there, that you can go when you first start painting. You either go what I call, and I've been ostracized for this, Quinn, before on things. I call it the traditional method of painting, which is when I started out painting, I got told you
put down back in like the mists of time.
Yeah, we used to paint
when
our
dinosaurs
little square bases green, and that was it. But you would start with your primer. Always get a good primer. I would recommend, Quinn, do you know what? That 100 quid that you've saved off a Mega Arm set.
You're going to say get an airbrush.
Buy an airbrush. It is, even if you're using speed paints, contrast paints, a good rattle can costs $10, right? An airbrush costs $50, $60. And you will get so many more models out of a single 4 quid primer than you would ever do from a rattle can. And you can use them inside as well. You don't have to worry about, you'd never spray. There's extra things in spray cans that you don't get when you're doing it yourself.
Yeah.
And it pays for itself.
I mean, like, not only do you have to, like, not do outside for safety concerns, but also an airbrush isn't going to be affected by your weather, like, how hot or cold it is, like, humidity. It's going to be based off your, like, house's internal temperature, which you'd hope would be, reasonably safe for humans.
Yeah. Jason Bulk, that is. I use Army Painter as well, speed paints. I've had some good fun with the speed paints. You guys have seen me paint up some models before. They are going to be featuring. I bought a whole new bunch of contrast paints, bought a whole new bunch of Army Painter speed paints, and as I mentioned, a whole new bunch of inks. And I have a cunning plan as to how I'm going to get through my over 1,000 model backlog, Quinn, before Christmas.
Okay, now we need to make it interesting, Rich.
Is my plan. Well, I think what I'm going to do is separate them out into lots in terms of what I'm going to get done and how I'm going to do them.
I would like to propose a wager.
Okay.
Richard. Okay, so you can name the terms, whatever you want them to be, but I would like there to be some stakes to this. So if you manage to get all of that backlog painted, I will do something. If you fail, you will do something. I will let you name what they are.
Well,
we will set that in stone now, and
we'll have a think about it and we'll come back to it maybe, because I still haven't actually counted up everything, because I still have
fear in his eyes at home, can't you?
Well, the thing is, I've still got I've got 2 unopened Star Wars Legion core boxes. I've got my Hero Quest boxes. I've got on sprues so many Isengard troops as well, but yeah, would love an airbrush, but I'm stuck in a Matchbox apartment. I'm sure there's a workaround. There are things you can do to do it, but Glyn, I love it. Just buy a Roll Better t-shirt off Etsy. There's still things you can do. There are still definitely things you can do. There are even now, and that's probably going to be my next buy, Quinn, is USB chargeable handheld airbrushes as well. So they I think most of them are just set at like 30 psi, which is perfect for most things. But it means you don't need the big compressor unit. And what it does mean as well is that you can actually take them outside. So you can get your paint ready. And if it is a fine day, or you've got quite a lot to do, Justin, I love that. You can take it outside with you as well. So I am going to buy one of those, because it's going to be what I'm going to be using to prime a lot of my miniatures. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, Justin, I do like that. I do like that.
I mean, I'd accept maybe the terms of in every roster. I'm not doing it every match.
No, because you know as well as me, you don't need 10 characters in a roster.
I mean, yeah, exactly. That's why I agree to it.
So paints, wet palette, airbrush, mask, brushes. No. So Christian, start with if you've got $50 to spend, start with a set of paints. Doesn't have to be those ones that I put in there, but something similar. Start with a set of paints like that. 10 paints, that's all you need, right? To start off with. If you can get 12, 14, 16, whatever, but buy a set to start off with because it will work out cheaper than buying them individually. Buy yourself, I mean, if you want to start off with go and buy a can of spray paint. Don't jump in and buy the airbrush day one, right? Wait to see. If all you're ever doing is painting MCP, you're probably never going to have enough figures
I think,
to warrant doing it.
The main thing with an airbrush is like how invested you want to be in like the painting side of the hobby, right?
Yeah, exactly that. But I would never recommend somebody go and buy it straight out the door. Go and buy yourself a good size 2 sable brush, okay? That's going to be your really good quality brush. It's going to have a really good head on it. It's going to cost $10, $15. Look at Rosemary & Co. Look at Winsor & Newton, any of those. But a size 2, the brush is going to seem big, but it'll be really good for intricate work because it's the tip of the brush that's important, not the actual size of the brush. And then a wet palette. I would say start with a wet palette. Just make sure you don't put your metallics on your wet palette. Just use your normal paints on there.
I mean, if you get like one of those Red Grass game ones, they come with this little thing that you can like mix your metallic.
I've got the Army Painter one. It's really good. It's compact. You can carry it around with you. And then I just use, for anything else, I have this little thing here for like metallics or contrast paints and that sort of thing if I'm mixing them. But that's all you need. You don't need to go and spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And then as Quinn says, if it becomes a big part of what you enjoy, then you can go out and get more. Airbrushes really come into play when you're doing a lot. You know, some of the armies that I've got, for example, you look at Star Wars Legion, Middle Earth strategy battle games. You're not painting up, 5, 6 models at a time, which really, even if you've got
you're
a
not
backlog,
painting up like a 10-man roster, right? It's going to be like 30,
it can be 30, 40.
50.
Yeah, exactly that. Hey, Rich and Quinn, just wanted to say thanks for your Ultimate Guide vids. I only just started playing and collecting MCP. Just bought Midnight Suns and Web Warriors and love painting them minis. David, it's probably outside of tier lists. Everyone fucking loves a tier list. Outside of tier lists, it's probably the most requested things that we get. So we are...
I mean, aside from less content with me.
Apart from less content with Quinn in it, yeah. No, so we are looking at them. We're going to have to change the format slightly because they were a big time sink for me building those battle cards. So that's probably not what we're going to do. But now we've got things like Cerebro and those sorts of things. We can save them in there and then share them out. So that they are coming back. We're probably going to put a poll up in the next couple of weeks. Probably once we've done the tier lists. I think we've got 5s and then 6 pluses left to do, Quinn, haven't we? Then the tier list videos, which will be the final one, and then we'll get on to back onto the Ultimate Guide. So yes, rest assured, I will do that. I used an egg carton tray when I was in high school. A plastic egg tray should do the same, more or less, I'd wager. As a pallet, Snow Loss, is that what you're saying? I don't really know.
As in like a mixing palette rather than
as a mixing palette. Definitely not as a wet palette though. Cool, guys, right, let's jump over and let's take a look then. Hydra versus Shield. I mean, it makes sense.
That sounds pretty good.
It does make sense.
I mean, also, it's like 2 affiliations I have some degree of interest in.
There is that, isn't
Oh
there?
god, like when we were doing those videos, and it was like an affiliation no one cared about, like
Yeah.
what one that neither of us cared about or had played. Oh, those were rough.
Yeah, they were tough times, weren't they? Let's just remind ourselves very quickly of Red Skull. We're not going to go into details, but 4-2-2 on his defences. He's a 5 threat and he's got 7 stamina. Medium move, small base. Blitz Strike, which is a flat builder, but it is a 6 dice. It is range 3, which is nice, and it's got a couple of triggers. Yeah, and it's got a couple of triggers in there as well, hasn't it, Quinn? On a wild and a hit, Blitz, and then a wild and a block, it's a push, which is nice. Size 3 only. Kneel Before Me, which is his big spender. 5 power it's going to cost. Range 2. Strength 9. Weirdly, Kneel Before Me only throws size 4 or less, whereas his 4 threat counterpart can throw Dormammu, which is always interesting.
Well, because this Red Skull doesn't have the Cosmic Cube, obviously.
This is true.
God, Rich, you don't know your own lore.
But he does get to choose whether it is Energy or Mystic, which is really nice. And then World Domination, which is his leadership. During the power phase, all characters gain 1 power if they are holding or contesting an objective token. A little bit situational, but there we go. He's got Empowered Gauntlets, basically gets to add blanks. All-consuming Obsession, suffers 1 damage and gains 2 power. Yeah, it's okay. And then there's Leviathan Armor, which is during the power phase, this character chooses a shielding type. The chosen benefits last until the start of the next power phase. Dispersion, which is roll 3 dice when defending, roll 3 additional dice when defending against energy attacks, cannot be pushed or advanced by the effects of mystic attacks or enemy superpowers. And then Null Field, this character rolls 3 additional dice when defending against mystic attacks and does not suffer collision damage. Not identical to Quinn, very, very similar with what we've seen in Vision before, isn't it? Like, yeah. Whereas you get that. The difference here is you do not get to mid-round. Yeah, you don't reactively get to change it mid-round, so really important to make sure you pick the right one. And then cut off 1 head, which is if an allied troopers is not in play when this character is chosen to activate, place them into play within range 1 of this character. They gain a stagger token and are part of your squad. Injured side, I don't think too much, if anything, changes, Quinn. It goes down in 1 stamina, which is okay, but I think everything else remains exactly the same, doesn't it?
Yeah, just 1 stamina less.
Yeah, that's what I said, yeah. So it just goes down 1 stamina. So, Quinn, how would you describe Red Skull as a character? You know, with back to the ultimate guides, this sort of, you know...
Oh, my patented pillars of MCP that are actually pillars.
Actual fucking pillars, by the way.
Yeah, so obviously Pillar 1 is Kingpin.
Pillar 2 is Malekith. No, but if you don't know what I mean by pillars, support, control, and attrition are kind of the 3 main characteristics that it looks like. He's on a medium base, isn't he, Quinn?
He is, yeah.
Yeah, which medium base, medium move is quite good, actually.
It's decent.
It's a decent amount of movement.
That's like lizard fast.
It is, yeah, it is. But yeah, what's your thoughts about it? Because he can kick out some damage, can't he, if needed?
So I think there are some very interesting things going on with Skull around his tactics cards, but those aside, I think he's a decent beta character. He's rolling 6 dice on his base attacks, and he's always gonna have the power to put blanks on it if he wants, right?
Yeah.
Is that superpower 1 or 2 cost? I can never remember.
2 costs, so it is 2
costs. 2 costs. So he can do the thing where he takes 1 damage, get that 2 power, hit someone. He generates that 1 power. He's got 1 from the power phase. He does it again. That can pump out some serious damage. And it's range 3, and it's not like he's just standing there and whacking things. He's also getting mobility elements from it as well.
Yeah.
I like that aspect of it. I'm a little worried about the whole Leviathan Armor thing with, one of these 3 defenses being a 2. Because, that Against some affiliations, that'll be fine. Against others that have a lot more diversity with like what colours they can bring, can be a bit of a weakness.
Well, if you look at his counterpart affiliation, if you like, in Cabal, like the rainbow colours they can bring into a basic squad,
Yeah.
it's not hard for them to get energy and mystic attacks into their squad, is it? You know, Killmonger and well, actually, do you know what? No, even worse.
Just Malekith on his own.
Malekith on his own. I was thinking Malekith and Hood. Obviously, Hood with that rapid fire range 3 attack against him. He is a little bit susceptible to that side of it, isn't he?
He is, yeah. I like his leadership. It's not particularly flashy, but more power is more good.
Yeah, more power is more good. Especially if especially if you're doubling down on that as well. But the thing I don't like about it, Quinn, is that it is situational. There is a setup that you could potentially no, because you're still contesting. The researcher is an objective token. I think that's right, isn't it?
You contest the researcher.
You contest the researcher, but you could be in a position where there is only one thing on the board that you are contesting.
I mean, I think you might contest extracts. What is the
You mean
wording on
secures?
Miles' thing?
You mean secures?
No, I mean Miles' thing.
You contest extracts. So quick look. The energy mystic choice is very spicy. It is Christian. I do like that. I do like the fact that that he does get that choice on there. He's one of my favourite character cards in a good while, and this is coming from someone who's primarily defense control focused. You can contest any extract. Yeah. Hey, Jonah.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're playing hammers and you've got a 65 more base, extra power.
Oh, you're getting it round 1. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Actually, no, I'm going daft. All extracts, whether they're flip or not, you still contest them, don't you?
If you're within secures, but yeah.
Sorry, secures, yeah. If you're within range 1...
Every token in the game, every objective token in the game, if you're standing within one of it and it's on the board...
You can be contesting it.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. So yeah, look, I think he's okay, Quinn. I think if he was the solo leader of Hydra,
I mean,
they'd be in a bit of trouble.
We also do have to factor in his grunts here.
He does have grunts.
Because they are part of his card.
Yeah, and let's have a look at that, or at them even, because they are a little bit different to what we've seen previously from other grunts. Let's just pull this up here. So they're called, make sure I get it right, Hydra Troopers. There we go. So Hydra Troopers. First of all, Quinn, the first thing that stood out to me was 3 stamina. Like, you know, it's not guaranteed that these guys are going down
for a grunt, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have to. Malekith is still going to make very short work of them, but 3 stamina, 1/2/2 for the defenses. These are the beefiest grunts we've seen to date in terms of what they can do. But they also come on a 50mm base, so they're on the medium base. They're a short move, size 2, 1/2/2 defenses, and they have the single attack Hydra energy weapons, range 4, which is nice. 4 energy. Yeah. Energy is good. Energy is the least defended defense or attack type of anything out there, and that's whether it be defensive tech or whether that's just your flat defense. They've got Hydra Assault, which is 0 cost. Obviously, these guys can't have power. This character makes a move action. During its next attack action this turn, this character may reroll any number of its attack dice. After the attack is resolved, this character is KO'd. Occupation Force. This character cannot pick up, hold, or interact with extract objective tokens. This character does not have to pay power to interact with secure objective tokens. And then Grunts, Red Skull, Master of Hydra. So these will not work, just for clarifying, these will not work with the original Red Skull. It can only be the new one. And then just want to go back, Quinn, to how we bring them in. So he starts with his grunts, doesn't he? At the beginning of the game.
Every grunt, like, handler, parent character, starts with their grunts on the table, yeah.
And what's different here is it doesn't cost him anything to bring his grunts back into play. With other characters, it's usually an action or it's power in the form of a superpower, isn't it, to bring them in. So they just come in if they're dead. However, they do gain a staggered token, which means that you're not going to be able to get that double tap off or even get the rerolls.
I mean, it's still better than getting nothing from them, because with all the other characters, if they start off dead, then you get no actions with them, or you get like something for bringing them in, right?
So is that how it works?
Because the grunts have to activate before the parent character on their activation.
It does actually say chosen to activate, doesn't it? So you're right.
Yeah. So you get these in, they come in with a stagger, but they get to shake it immediately and then do an action.
That's nice. Yeah, I do like that. So yeah, you're always going to be able to probably get your attack off, especially with that range one place, Quinn. You know, you're more than likely going to be able to do it, aren't you? The Hydra Assault, I gather it's okay.
Meh. Meh.
It's part of me thinks like, I think because they come back, then it's kind of okay, but then it means that you could potentially double tap with them next turn. I don't know. I'm a bit torn on that one. Occupation Force then, so it cannot pick up, hold, or interact with extract. However, it can interact with secure objective tokens as well.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Which is...
I really like these guys. I think they're my favourite grunts.
I mean, you look at what... They've only got, Quinn, they've only got 1 physical and 2 energy, right? So trying to flip a point with them is going to be difficult, right? Because they're the 2 pay to flips, aren't they? But they can interact with, is it the Extremis console, for free and heal you. So if Red Skull has taken 2 damage in a single activation, these guys can interact and heal him 1.
For and 1 power, you too can have healing factor 2.
Like, it's pretty good.
I'm thinking more down the route of just sword.
Oh, sword is really
good
as well.
If you're playing sword at 14, you can still be 5 wide for the purposes of like getting objectives.
Yeah, it's quite good. They spawn with they spawn with stagger. They can off themselves for convocation, have a range 4 energy attack, and have a nice health pool. Park them back on a back point. Boom, done. Yeah, seems pretty good. You shake the stagger first, so only characters.
They're talking about Winter Guard.
Oh, okay, right. I needed to go further up. Ghost Rider in Red Skull Hydra on Cosmic Invasion seems gross.
All power, like, before doing anything.
Do you know what, Quinn? Did Ghost Riders deal with the Devil get changed to say non-grunt?
Grunts can't be targeted by tactics cards.
They can't be. So it's yeah. Okay.
Friendly tactics cards.
Friendly.
I think you can them.
Could you imagine? But yeah, I think they're pretty good, Quinn. I think they're pretty good. I think they work nice with Red Skull. But let's jump in and take a look at some tactics cards or Tic Tacs cards. Let's start with these ones. So we've got 7 cards to go through, and I think some of them we've already seen before, so we'll go through them really quickly. But then we'll determine whether or not we think they're any good. So first one, Quinn. And these are all in the Red Skull and Hydra Troopers box, aren't they? CP74. So you're going to get these with him. So first one, Victory Assured. Basically, during an allied Johann Schmidt's activation, so it does work with the old Red Skull as well.
And will work with future Red Skulls, assuming they're still Johann.
Yep. He may suffer up to 5 power to play this card. This character may use the attack shown above once this activation. Beam 3, 6 power. Or 6 strength even, I should say. And it's called Electrostatic Discharge. Discharge feels, Quinn, like it should be aura or area.
I just don't like the word discharge. Bit gross.
Oh, Quinn. Quinn. Discharge. What about if you coupled that with the word moist?
Don't like you. You're not my friend anymore.
So, if this attack dazes or KOs the target character, this character gains the stunned special condition. When making this attack, add attack dice to each attack roll equal to the damage suffered to play this card. So, you can play this card, Quinn, without suffering any damage, or you can take it from a 6 to an 11 dice being 3.
Yeah.
Which is a lot, but
that's a lot of dice.
It's a lot of health as well. Now,
I mean, if you need that Hail Mary, if you're in that Hail Mary scenario where you just need to go balls to the wall, your hand's your man.
This to me, Quinn, is I think Victory Assured is going to make it into people's 10. I think this is a card people are going to take in their roster with them when they're playing.
It's just
Red
a question
Skull.
of what it gets into the squad, right?
Yeah, and I think it will be potentially setup dependent, right? Gamma Researcher, all fucking day long, right? What I also like is the fact that it's even a free beam 3 6 dice attack is really nice because he can still spend, Quinn, 2 power to count the blanks, which is really nice. So
no, he can't.
Can he not?
I'm fairly certain that ability only works on his builder.
Oh, is that?
Look.
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it is Blitz Strike.
Strike.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, ignore me.
I was going to say, that'd be a bit good, Richard.
Okay. But for me, Quinn, it's going to make it into the 10 most of the time, but it will be situational in terms of when you actually take it. I give it like we're not ranking them, but I give it like a solid B, purely because of the flexibility that you can spend power versus not. You can take damage versus not taking damage.
It's a nice flexible card, I think.
Yeah,
I mean, as is, a card for like 6 dice beam 3. It's not bad.
It's pretty good, and also the fact this is unaffiliated as well, so you can take this with Red Skull in Hydra. So it doesn't, you don't have to be in Cabal or anywhere else.
I was waiting for you to make your point, and I was like, what?
Yeah. No. That's my point. Is that it's not a Hydra card. It is a Johann Schmidt card, which is nice. Like
Johann,
but OG Red Skull doesn't have, he doesn't have any sort of tactics cards of his own. Cosmic Invigoration, but it's bound to be.
Big is like bound to Cabal.
Yeah,
actually as well. Yeah.
So this is quite nice.
It's nice. It's always nice when they're trying to revitalize an older character.
Yeah.
Right?
And I also don't mind the fact that you're probably wanting to be looking at running patch up with this, Quinn. If you've got a character nearby with 5 power to drop a patch up on Red Skull, and you get if you can get 3 characters with an 11 dice energy attack, that's pretty good. And also, Quinn, just to add again, if you're using the OG Red Skull on this, you're gaining power from it because you're probably doing damage with it. So you're going to gain 3, however many power from it as well. Not ranking them, who even are you? I know, Jonah, I know. But overall, Quinn, I like it. I think it's a decent card, and I think we're going to see it played with, especially Hydra, under Red Skull's leadership quite a lot. Let's have a look at the next one, Occult Research. Hydra only card. During the power phase, Red Skull Master of Hydra may spend 10 power to play this card. Red Skull Master of Hydra and all characters within range 2 of him gain a stagger token. That is all characters, so both your characters and your enemy's characters. So allied and enemy.
And himself.
And himself. Red Skull, Master of Hydra, gains the following superpower for the rest of a game. Arcane Invigoration. This character may perform an additional action each activation. So he gets the time gem, basically.
The old time gem.
The old time gem. The old time gem. So I have a couple of issues with this one, Quinn. The main one is around it costing 10 power.
It takes the average game of MCP, in my experience, is about 5 rounds, right?
4. I'd even say, between 4 and 5 rounds.
I like to murder things. I don't play fast objectives, so I play 5 rounds.
When I play you, it's usually round 2, and you go, well, you've killed both my Hulks. I can't do anything now.
Oh, what? You did bullshit dice and I lost. Oh, great.
There we go.
Anyway, it's taking you 3 rounds to get to 10 power. If you build around playing this card, you might get to 10 power in the power phase of round 3, right?
But even
Which
then...
means that, you're giving out that stagger, which may or may not be detrimental or positive for you. That kind of nullifies itself with how it could work out. Because you're getting stagger on yourself, you are effectively not getting your extra action that round.
Yep.
Which means that you have 2 rounds of getting an extra action for 10 power and a tactic card. 2 actions.
Realistically, just is not good power economy. And you're taking this card, Quinn, over another tactics card that you could be taking as well.
I mean, if you want to frame it this way, for 5 threat you can have Rocket and Groot, and for this tactic card you can have Deadly Duo. For 6 power less, spread across 2 characters.
They're pretty good
you can have 3 actions instead.
They're pretty good at murdering things as well, aren't they? So yeah, I'm not a fan, Quinn. I don't want to say it's D.
I think it's a cool card. I just don't. I think it's a meme card.
It's thematic, but yes, it's a bit of a meme card.
This is Fearful Symmetry territory.
Yeah. Endless
You're
Legions.
Taking this because you want to have fun.
Yeah, which is fine, right?
Yeah.
Endless Legions. So it's another Hydra card. It's another one that during the power phase, Red Skull can play. Just Master of Hydra. Each time an allied Hydra troopers would be KO'd this round, remove all damage from them. They are not KO'd. Then an opposing player pushes them instead.
That's particularly interesting, is it?
Well, it doesn't matter. You just don't attack the troopers.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, we always say, we do it, that tactics cards have to do something. And tactics cards that are guaranteed to do something and guarantee you an outcome are usually the ones that you see rising to the top because they're the ones that are consistent.
You like consistency with cards because that's how you get guaranteed value out of something, right?
Yeah. The other thing that people don't like about tactics cards is no matter how good the thing is that it can do, if it's very, very easy for your opponent to just completely mitigate what it is that it does, then they're not very good either. And the fact that at the absolute most, these Hydra troopers are going to be doing 2 4-dice energy attacks for the cost of a tactics card, you would just... If my opponent played this, Quinn, I'd go, cool, I won't attack your Hydra troopers this round.
Yeah.
I mean,
even if they do die, right, and they get to be pushed, comparatively to just spawning back at Red Skull, you are getting... What's the name of their superpower? The one where they move and then their attacks are better.
I can't remember what it is. Yeah,
you get to do that this round instead of removing a stagger. Ooh,
it's just not a fan, not a fan. They went too hard a flavour
That's a
with...
D tier card.
Yeah, D tier for me. 100% Quinn. 100%. Cool, let's take a look then. Let's start to work through these. So, 2 more shall rise. When an allied talk about wanting to make Sin relevant, when an allied Hydra character with an active leadership ability is KO'd, another allied character may play this card. Choose 2 allied characters with Hydra or Cabal leadership abilities. Both chosen characters' leadership abilities become active. So realistically,
I love
Quinn,
the theme of the card. I like the whole,
thematically, it's really good. If you lose your leader, right? So it's either Strucker or it is Red Skull, which is 3 or 5 threat. They've got to be KO'd. So realistically, this can't happen until at least round 2. Realistically, it ain't going to be round 2 because neither Strucker or Red Skull are being dazed round 1, right? So let's say realistically, Quinn, it's going to be round 3 in most circumstances. Yeah, like 2 leaderships is cool, but I would argue if you look at the list of characters you get to choose from and you look at their leaderships, so it's either Strucker, it's either Red Skull OG, it's either Red Skull Hydra, it's Sin, or it's Malekith. Not one of those leaderships, Quinn, is game winning in the same way that like a Kingpin's leadership is, for example, or something like that. So I just don't see.
I mean, also with the majority of leaderships in the game, you tend to build your squad around that leadership to some degree, especially one like Strucker, right? You want to bring in those characters that give out those conditions.
Yeah.
If you've done that and you brought this card, when you lose that leadership, getting 2 other ones that don't like synergize with the rest of what you've got left on the table isn't particularly good.
Well, and then you also have to look, Quinn, at the characters that you have to take, right? Realistically, is Malekith getting in a Hydra, a Hydra squad? He could do, but if you're taking Malekith, you definitely ain't taking another 2 leaders because that means that you need at least a Red Skull or a Sin. Is Sin a good enough character to take by herself? Does he synergize well enough with Hydra?
Unless you're doing silly rapid fire lists like I did, no.
Yeah. So I love how thematic the card is, Quinn. It's really good. My problem is that the characters you have to pick to put in here just don't work. And as you say, everything else around it isn't going to be great. And once again, Quinn, your opponent goes, okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to murder Sin first and then take out Strucker. And guess what?
They'll have invested so many resources into killing Sin. Like
You've only got
3 attacks.
Yeah. Not a fan of it. Not a fan. From a thematic standpoint, it's really good, but yeah, I don't really like it. 2 more, I'm beyond disappointed. It should be a Hydra or Cabal character with a leadership ability instead of a Hydra or Cabal leadership. That would have made it a lot more interesting.
It would have made it excellent because you just suicide Sin in immediately and get like 3 leaderships. That would be silly.
What have you got? Kingpin, Green Goblin, Malekith, Red Skull, Strucker.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm not letting people have Kingpin's leadership mid-game. Fuck that.
Exactly. There's almost no synergy among Cabal and Hydra leaders outside Strucker and Mal. This feels like they're trying to boost Sin. This could have been so great with that change. I suggested with Sleeper Agent. I think the best way to do it is to have OG Red Skull use his ability to redirect attacks to Strucker, but Sin's leadership isn't good enough to justify it, and Mal is too... Exactly that, Nathan. Exactly that. Oh, it's easy to trigger. You can throw shit into your own guys, right? Killing somebody is not hard. But yeah, Start with Sin leadership. You can't stand with you. So Sin is not a leader in Hydra. And it specifically says with an active leadership. So it won't work with that, unfortunately. So yeah, for me, Quinn, as much as I love how thematic it is, it's probably another D tier card.
Yeah.
World Domination, another Hydra card. If you control all secure objective tokens, an allied Hydra may spend this card. You gain 1 VP for every two secure objective tokens you are securing. Additionally, each character you control gains 1 power for every 2 secure objective tokens you are securing. So you need at least 2. Sorry, you need all of them, and then for every 2 you get power and a VP.
Now, Richard, can you do me a favour?
Go on.
Can you define control in this game?
Well, that's the problem, Quinn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because
you read that card and you go, I can play something like Infinity Formula or, Scoundrels, right? And you have like 5 or 4, you get all of them, you're scoring like 2 VPs, that's a big swing, right?
Nope.
No.
There are only 3 crisis cards in this game where you control, I believe.
No, there's more. There's 4.
Is there 4?
5.
What, for control?
Yeah, for control.
Go ahead.
There are 5 pay to flips, Rich.
Is there 5 pay to flips in this game?
So you got spider portals, you got sword,
spider portals.
You've got Madman, you've got Meteor, and then
down
there's the other one.
Okay,
there's the other one. Yeah. There is another one. I can't remember what it's called now.
This is getting errated. It's in the rules forum. It's all secures.
Oh.
Interesting, Ravensguard. Is that actually being done?
I will have a look.
I'll let Quinn have a look. If that's the case, this goes up in value, Quinn.
Oh, this is included in every game you play with
significantly. If that is right, Ravensguard, World Domination is their tactics card, and that's what you play around.
From the mouth of Nagaldar himself, World Domination will be errated to say are securing instead of control in the first sentence.
Excellent.
This is an incredible card. I love it.
Yeah, it's straight up to, I'm not going to say S tier, Quinn, but it's high A.
I mean, I feel like S tier is a card that you're going to bring every game, and this is a card I'm going to bring every game with Hydra, so this is S tier for me.
It's a good point.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, you will. Yeah, do you know what? It changes these cards significantly.
Big
and I really like the fact, Quinn, that it is not stapled to Red Skull. I like the fact that Strucker can take this. This is going to be good. This is going to be really. I'm just reading this as well, Quinn.
Oh, don't do reading. It hurts your eyes.
No, read the timing of it. If you control all secure objective tokens, this does not say during the cleanup phase.
No. So you play it in the middle of a round.
You can play it in the middle of a round.
Also, I just want to comment on something.
Yep.
Do you know how it says like it's Hydra affiliated?
Yep.
What does that word underneath it say?
You gain 1.
No. The main body of text, between the word Hydra and the main body of text, what's that word say?
Character. Where are you looking?
What do you? No. Not from the main body of text. Not the bolded Hydra in that. The Hydra that is like this is a Hydra affiliated card.
Active.
No, it doesn't.
Where are you looking?
It says active. There's
no I. There's no I in it.
There's no
I. Yeah. This is a very good card. I have done a 180 card on this. So Ravensguard, thank you for that.
There we go. Very quickly, I'm fairly certain you can't play active cards in the cleanup phase, can you?
No.
And one card that we're about to get onto, Inevitable Betrayal, that's played in the cleanup phase, right?
Yes.
That's a shame. That's a real shame.
It really is. Yeah, it really is. So yeah, active. It has to be your turn to play an active
I
card.
mean, that to me feels like, grounds for inclusion of some more push-based characters in Hydra. If I'm
Oh,
honest.
100%. Yeah,
I'm going to be putting Gwen in there,
I can.
webline everyone off.
I can see. I can see Mr. Captain Sam making a turn and a Hail Hydra. And
Dearest Samuel.
let's have a look at Inevitable Betrayal then. Hydra reactive during the cleanup phase before victory points are scored. An allied Hydra character may spend 8 power to play this card. Choose an enemy character within range 2 that is contesting a secure objective token. The chosen character counts as one of your characters for contesting secure objective tokens this round. Now, when it says this round, it's the cleanup phase, so it's the last little bit of the round at the very, very end of the thing, so it doesn't extend out into the next round, right?
It's like being told you're getting pizza and only being given the crust.
However, Quinn, 8 power. This could be a clutch card.
I mean, so think of it on a gamma, for instance. That you're paying 8 power, you're getting a 4 VP swing if you're doing it on your opponent's back shelter.
Yeah, you're taking
That's
one off
huge.
them and giving yourself 3. This is another one I'm going to say, Quinn. This is going to be in every Hydra list. Like, I can't see.
Yeah, I don't think you play it every game, but
No.
I think in those higher scoring crises, it's very nice.
Yeah, it's very, very good. Lastly, then, Sleeper Agent. It's D tier, guys. Unaffiliated reactive. When you include this card in your squad, choose one non-Hydra affiliated. We've heard it before, but what do they get? They get Subterfuge. Subterfuge, during this character's activation, enemy characters cannot use reactive superpowers and players cannot play reactive team tactics cards. Quinn, that's really nice. That's giving Mystique's thing. However, each time this character attacks, after the attack is resolved, if the target character was not dazed or KO'd by the attack, this character loses the Subterfuge reactive superpower. Or innate superpower. And then you deploy it. Then you discard it. If it didn't have that on there, Quinn, it would have been amazing.
It'd been way too good.
It would have been utterly amazing. Because you're not actually paying for them to be part of Hydra. You're paying for them to have that. And being able to have some big hitters like a Malekith, where people cannot use Brace for Impact, right? On when you throw them around and stuff, would be amazing. I don't like it because you're not guaranteed to get that KO or days, and
probably best thing you can do is either slap it on a Hulk or a Malekith,
and pray
and just hope.
Yeah.
You have I do like the mental image of Hulk tiptoeing around, pretending to be sneaky.
Oh yeah. Sleeper Agent, I called it, but man, I'm disappointed with it. Yeah, I think this. I would say, Quinn, of the 3 cards we've got that are not the same card but do the same thing. We've got the Initiative with. Is there 3 that do it now or 2?
2.
2.
It's Initiative in this.
And this. This is better, but.
Is it actually better? Gadget Token lets you I think it lets you mission objective or clear a condition.
Quinn, we've got another one. Sentinels is the other one.
Oh, yeah, with their nanobot
with the
thing.
flight thing. I think this is better than those ones, but
probably, yeah.
It's.
I'm not impressed.
No. Weirdly, as well, Quinn, is that after this attack is resolved, would you get to do the rapid fire in a rapid fire attack You would
Yes.
do, wouldn't you? You get to double up on
because
them.
it's yeah.
Yeah. However, on a rapid strike, you wouldn't.
You mean like a flurry?
Yeah, like a flurry type thing.
Or
would you?
You get to do it still.
Yeah, you would still do. But yeah, look, Then this may be one, Quinn, where it's going to be a big character, right? You're only going to take this on right now. That springs to mind: Malekith and Hulk are the only.
I could foresee it on a Scarlet Witch.
Or a Scarlet Witch, yeah.
Just
I don't
because,
mind that.
like, with the games of Hydra I played, Scarlet Witch is the big character that I tend to bring.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I could see that. But even so, it's just... They lose it, and it's done one thing, and that's it.
I could also foresee, like, this card being actively detrimental to your own play, because if you're trying to keep this token, you might make suboptimal choices with that in mind as well, which I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah. I think both the gadget token and the bleed immunity are better than something you're likely to lose the first chance you get. Yeah, it's absolutely not better than shield loss. Snow loss. What did Sleeper Agent do to you, Snow loss? Yeah.
Show us on the doll where the Sleeper Agent touched you.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of any of these, Quinn. I think if I'm playing any of these affiliations, I am not... Because we have to remember, guys, the opportunity cost is a tactics card. Yeah. We've just identified, Quinn, inevitable... World Domination, you're taking, right? It's going in your 5. You're going to take 2 restricted cards, right? So that's 3. Was there another one? So there's nothing else a guarantee in Hydra, but
I think scientific method is pretty much guaranteed.
Oh, of course, yeah. So that's 4. Sleeper Agent, I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
Nah.
All of these, Quinn, all of these cards could be fixed with one simple thing, and it is this card does not count towards your 5. And these cards all of a sudden go up immensely in value. But it's that opportunity cost of having
either
to take...
that or them working the way they probably should, in that they work during the actual squad building step.
And that's the other thing as well, just to clarify for everyone, this will not count. If you have 2 Hydra characters and 2 non-Hydra, and you put this on one of the non-Hydra, you are not affiliated to Hydra, because you choose your affiliation before you choose your tactics cards. Yeah. So yeah, it's bullshit, but it is what it is. Quinn, overall, let's just jump back over to here. Overall, where are you at with Hydra at the moment? Now we know about that change in World Domination, I think it was.
I am super stoked about Hydra. Like, I've been playing a lot of Strucker already. Like, I'm actually painting models rich. That means they must be, like, good for me. I'm really excited to get them out to a few events. Hopefully I will be hailed in the future.
Yeah, I can see myself taking them for a spin. It's going to be a very, very different play style to what I am used to. As people know, I like murdering things. As
Trust me, you can still murder shit with Hydra.
You can, but they are not. They don't have quite as many things at their disposal, do you? So Anyway, let's get on to the next part of the show, which is our weekly painting competition. Quinn, you picked the theme last week, which I believe was Barons.
It was, yeah.
So any Baron in the game, there's 3 to choose from now. There is the Zemo, there is the Strucker, and then there's Dave. Mordo.
You could have just gone with Carl. That's a mundane enough name, and it's his actual name.
It is, yeah. Quinn, quick ranking. 1, 2, and 3. Rank the Barons.
Zemo, Strucker, Carl.
There we go. Obviously, starting with 1 and working your way down there, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, okay. But we had some great entries this week. So much so, Quinn, that let's wait. Let's jump in. So for anyone that doesn't know, what is this? It's our weekly painting competition. It's for a little bit of fun. It pads out the content. But you send us, we set a theme for the week. You send us your entries. We pick out 2 honourable mentions and 1 winner. But every single person that enters over the space of however long we do it for gets put into a prize draw. And then the winner will take home the Rivals panel or the Rivals box. So I think it was Gooey Chewy last time round. Won the Doc Ock and Spider-Man one. We are going to be giving away the $100 Weapon X, which apparently is going to be...
I think it's bullshit that I'm not allowed to...
It's going to be a brand new affiliation, 2 brand new characters, and a little bit of scenery in there.
I should be allowed to enter these.
What was the... I'm going to buy the box and I'm going to play the hell out of Hydra, but I will never not be mad when we could have been 2 more in Sleeper Richard. There we go. So, honourable mention number 1, Quinn. We said before, haven't we? There are 3 things we take into account 4 things we take into account when we are picking the winners and the honourable mentions. Number 1 is it a good paint job, right? But believe it or not, that's not the only factor. Second of all is it a 3D printed model? A 3D printed model can get into it, but it needs to be an exceptionally well-painted 3D model. Yeah, and has, as proven by last week. Number 3 is, have they done anything... I'm going to use like conversion stroke alternative paint scheme, Quinn, in the same thing here, right? Have they done something that isn't the box art or isn't something that, you know, is a well-known version of that character? Something a little bit different is the other one. And lastly is, you know, did you win it for the last 3 weeks? Because you ain't going to be winning again, right?
I think also there's one more, which is whether you followed the fucking brief or not.
Well,
we've had plenty that just don't.
It's Baron Week. Here's my voodoo. Like... I'm slowly starting to suspect that you'll never give away the Weapon X box. Just keep coming back to these videos. Guys, we gave away the last one. The last one, Gooey Chewy. I think about 9 people changed their name to Gooey Chewy.
I was one of them. We had sort of an I am Spartacus moment.
Yeah. But first honourable mention, and this is brilliant, Quinn. This is absolutely brilliant. What is better than Baron Zemo, Quinn?
Is it finding him?
It's finding Zemo. This is genius. Like, absolutely brilliant. So, from Jeebs, obviously finding Nemo inspired. You've got the orange. It almost looks like a jumpsuit on this one, Quinn, because of the orange. But then the sort of detail there, the sort of black and white, looking like a clownfish.
He's even done like the little circlet in white as well.
Do you know what, Quinn? This one just made me smile. This one just made me smile. It was good. It was good. So yeah, I really, really liked this one. Because, like I say, for no other reason, Quinn, I saw it and went, that made me smile. Second honourable mention, Quinn, goes to Pompey Painter, Jack. Yes. You may have seen Jack on a recent Star Wars Legion video that we did, where we talked through his Jyn Erso list, I think it was. We've seen him... Pardon? Jyn Erso.
Oh, Jyn Erso.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying like Geonosis with a weird
No,
accent.
Jyn Erso.
I was like, what?
Pompey Painter, as always, Jack, absolutely solid work. Jack is actually a commission painter as well. You can find some of his work on the channel. I love the non-metallic metal on the sword, Quinn.
I am a big fan of Pompey Painter's Purple Pants.
Pompey Painter's Purple Pants.
Yes.
Yeah, just really, really solid. Really, really good. Quinn, this is the time that we would usually go into the winner, Quinn. But
we would crown our winner for the week, yeah.
In an unprecedented move by me and yourself,
we're making history.
We did pull out a third, I listed fourth then, a third honourable mention. And whilst the paint job is a really nice, solid paint job, we spoke before about how the background, we look at the whole image as a whole.
We take a holistic view.
Yeah, and this background just absolutely did it for us. So we do have a third honourable mention, and Gooey Chewy, he's in the chat because we've already seen him. With his Baron Strucker does get the third honourable mention. Now this started off, Quinn, didn't it? With you going, have you seen that one from Gooey Chewy? There's a fully cooked fucking pizza in the background.
Yeah.
And I went, no. I look at it going, what? And then looked at it. I went, why has he put a fucking pizza in the back? And then, obviously, the Red Baron in the background. With, I think it says classic crust there, Quinn.
But then the classic crust. Yeah.
Very Instagram positioned pizza slice there as well. Yeah. You've done this before. You've done this before, Nathan, I think. But yes, so our third and unprecedented honourable mention goes to Gooey Chewy.
I mean, I also like to think that this image explains why Strucker has the monocle.
Yeah, because he's the red. Because exactly.
The moon hit his eye like a big pizza pie.
Get out. Get out. Get out. But yeah, really, really well done, Nathan. We really enjoyed that one. It did take a second view, and it did take Quinn pointing it out for me to do it. But there we go, guys. We look at the whole picture. Remember that when you are submitting your entries. But as always, there can only be one winner, and the winner this week was, I think he got an honourable mention last week, but this is Brushnicker with just a very, very well painted Zemo. I think his Doc Ock last week got an honourable mention from that Rivals box, actually. This time for me, Quinn, all round it was very solid. I love the little detailing on the base. The non-metallic metal on the sword is really nice as well. And just like the level of detail in, the lines on his sort of, I don't know if you call it, is it helmet or like the balaclava that he wears?
It's a mask. Yeah.
Well, I always see like a mask as being like just at the front.
No, a mask can be a
okay, head and torso piece. But yeah, just a chef's kiss.
I don't know what it is, but with Zemo models in particular, but I really like his pants. I don't know.
Do love some pants, Quinn. The boots as well for me, Quinn. Like the level of detail on the boots are really good. So yeah, there we go. Brushnicker, you are our painter of the week. You don't win anything, but you do get to go in our on our wall of fame, I should say. So well done to you. Well done to everybody else who submitted their entries.
I would also like to call out the fact that this wall doesn't really exist. I'm fairly certain that there's no graphic with all of them on.
It's there.
Oh, really? Point the camera to it, Rich.
Oh, my camera's static.
Oh, is it? Yeah, really?
Yeah, that's what it is, yeah. But I do need to pick one for this week, Quinn, don't I?
You do. And while you're deciding, I will just answer Eric Harrell's question that he had a little bit earlier that we didn't get round to. As for the painting contest info, you find out what the brief is here in this video. We try and also put it in the submission area that we have on the Savage Lands Discord, which is the weekly painting comp entries channel, kind of self-descriptive. And you can find a link to that Discord
in the link in the description below.
There we go.
Yeah.
I thought he still needs to think after I did all that.
So I've decided, Quinn, do you know what? People often say that we're not fair with certain things in this game.
I mean,
particularly
We're incredibly biased, Richard.
when it comes to 3D prints. So, like, we in an a week of unprecedented moves, I want to see your alternative sculpts.
Are you allowing conversions in that?
Yep.
Cool.
I will allow conversions. So conversions stroke alternative sculpts. So any character, they must have been. So here's the stipulation, guys. The character you are portraying must be a character that has been released as an official model in Marvel Crisis Protocol, right? I don't want to see Spider-Woman. I don't want to see, I don't know, Bishop, right? I don't want to...
You want a comparison point.
It has to be a character that has been released in the game. However, if you've converted your Gwen into symbiote Gwen, I'm more than okay with that, right? We know it's Gwen. So they're the rules, guys. Any alternative sculpts or any conversions of characters.
I mean, I can't wait for our bias to show when, like, next week, the honourable mentions and the winner are all conversions instead of 3D prints.
No. We will give everyone their fair due. So yeah. So, Eric, to answer your question, join the Discord. There is a group in the Discord called Weekly Painting Competition, and you'll find the detail. You basically just submit one picture into there, and that'll get you into the draw. Guys, that's going to be it for this week. I think I'm going to go to the pub, Quinn. It's been a minute. It has been a minute, so I think I'm going to go to the pub.
Is this going to be another one of those things where, like, me and Ron are playing a game tomorrow, and you, like, bumble in at, like, 2 o'clock, and I'm like, I've just woken up.
No, that was bad. That was really bad. That was my local landlord, after I went to the pub by myself, had me drinking in there until about 2 o'clock in the morning.
It sounds like he's good at running his business.
No, he was buying me beers. This was the best bit.
Oh, then he's terrible at running his business.
It goes to show.
Going under.
It goes to show how much you drink in a certain pub when the landlord is buying you drinks. That's all I'll say on that one, Quinn. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed it, guys. I haven't said it actually yet, but if you could, leave a like on this video. It really, really does help. And yeah, we will catch you next week for another episode of the Weekly Bugle, and probably a cheeky little 5-threat tier list as well, because we know all of you love them fucking tier lists. So until next time, guys, we'll catch you later on, and have a good weekend.